Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that addresses all your stock-related queries and also helps you to speak with the top market experts to get a custom-made advice for your stock-related portfolio. In case you're watching the show for the first time, well, this is where you will get to speak to the guests and send in your queries. The WhatsApp number is flashing on your screen, so don't forget to mention your name, location and your contact details when you send in your questions right there. You can also use our YouTube platform where you're watching this show live on and send in our questions there so that we can pick it up and address it with our top guests. And it's now time to introduce to you our guest of the day. We are joined by Osho Krishnan. He's the Senior Research Analyst, Technicals and Derivatives at Angel One. Warm welcome to you, Osho, and good to have you with us. Well, first up, do tell us what is the kind of current setup in the markets really telling you. Last 2 days in a row, we've actually seen very narrow range-bound kind of a trade on the Nifty particularly, but below the surface, there have been very specific stocks, sectors that have continued to outperform. What is it that is the current setup really telling you as to the approach that retail investors must have?
Very good afternoon, Sakshi. Firstly, thank you for having me at your show. Well, now coming to the overall technical perspective of the key indices, the benchmark index specifically, then we have seen a decent movement in the last couple of trading days but in last couple of weeks, but in the last couple of days, there has been a very strong consolidation in the overall space. So I am expecting that overall, the undertone remains very bullish, but in the key indices, there is some kind of consolidation or some kind of tentativeness as the benchmark index reaching towards the 50% Fibonacci retracement of the fall. So the 50% Fibonacci retracement comes around the zone of 24,770. So there is some kind of tentativeness around these levels, and I'm expecting until it surpasses the same zone in a decisive manner, such kind of consolidation can be continued. The only positive is that any kind of blip towards the zone of 24,500 and 24,400 should be seen as a very strong buying emergence in the market, while on the higher end, 24,700 to 800 is a zone where one should even try to book their profits or lighten up their long positions. So until we see a decisive breakthrough of this range, there can be some kind of consolidation. The broader range is 24,400 and 24,800 for Nifty.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the overall view on the markets is concerned. Osho, already a lot of questions that are coming in. Let me just welcome all our viewers also who are joining right in the beginning of the show. We have Sandeep Pancharya, Suyash, Vasant Reddy. We also have Vanshika Mishra, Jai Rami Reddy, all of them joining right in with their questions. Warm welcome to all of you. Good to see you right at the start of the show. Let's start away taking one by one all the questions. We have this Sandeep Pancharya's question first for you, Osho. This is on Ashoka Buildcon. Now he already holds some stocks, 100 stocks at the rate of 233. He wants to know, is it the right time for him to book profits here? The stock is at 291 now, or should he continue to hold on? What would your suggestion be?
See, overall, there has been a very decent movement in this counter from the zone of where is the buying price approximately 230, 235 for the zone, from where the buying emergence was seen in this counter and currently hovering around 290. Technically, yes, there is some kind of higher momentum, higher parameters that is being seen in this counter, and I'm expecting that in the short term, 300 could be the range where one can try to book their profits. For now, there is a very strong momentum, and it will be advisable to keep trailing your profits till the momentum persists in the counter. So now the trading range has shifted towards 270 and 300. So buy on dips and sell on the rise will be applicable in this counter as of now. And the time we breach the zone of 300, then we can see another 30 point of rally in the coming period. So as of now, it will be advisable to trail your profits with a stop loss of nearly 282 for higher targets of 300 in the very short term period.
Okay, got that. So I hope, Sandeep, this has answered your question. Next, we have a question. This is coming in from Suyash, and he wants to know on NIIT Limited, Osho. He has 100 shares of NIIT Limited bought at the rate of 221. Here he wants to know, is it the right time to average these shares at the current levels? Should he continue to hold or exit now? Because he can hold if it is going to be giving him good returns in the upcoming days as well. We do know how Osho NIT Limited had a stellar set of move, in this year in one particular period where ace investors invested into the firm, and there was a one-way rally for many days onto this stock, which took it to another re-rating or level 2. But it's been consolidating after that time. What is your suggestion here?
See, overall, as you mentioned, there has been a very strong rally in this counter. There has been two consecutive rally. First one from 120 towards 190, and the other one again from 150 towards 230 now. So overall, I am expecting that there can be some kind of profit booking or correction for the short-term perspective. But again, 190, 200 should be seen as a very strong support. So any averaging in this counter should be done around the zone of 190 to 200, in the range of 190 to 200, if there will be any continuation dip or profit booking that will be visible in this counter. Overall, from a broader time frame, the technical structure is very bullish. Any dip towards the 50-day exponential moving average, which currently is around 190, that augurs very well in this counter. So one should patiently wait for further correction. 190 to 200 will be the zone where one should try to reaccumulate this counter.
Okay, got that. Well, we also have a question coming in from our WhatsApp number. Satya from Trishur writes in, says, Osho, I'm a big fan of yours. Could you please suggest to me over the next 6 to 9 months, I need a view on Make Money Organics. I have been holding from 108, and can I hold, I can hold if the target is, even further from here, above 125 over the next 6 months. Any recommendations beyond this also I would welcome. Make Money Organics from your fan right there, Osho. How would you really suggest to him and advise him right there?
See, overall, this counter is, although it's not in my radar as of now, but overall, it has seen a decent movement in the recent period. After all, it is hovering near the zone of 100. So that will be a critical resistance for the counter. The time it breaches the zone of 100, then we can see a continuation on the higher end for this counter. But for the short-term perspective, approximately, I'm expecting that there can be a decent correction towards the zone of 88 or 90 odd levels for a very short-term perspective. And on the higher end, until it crosses the zone of 100, one should stay either sidelines, or if already holding the position, then I will advise to better not to accumulate at current levels. Once it gives a strong breakout, then one can definitely try to accumulate this.
Okay, I hope there you have got the answer to your question, Satya, and Osho has really guided you well on this one. Next, we have Vasant Reddy writing in. He says, ma'am, I have bought Mihika Industries at the rate of 30 rupees. I'm holding 500 shares. I want to know what is the future of this one. Mihika Industries is currently trading at 23.5 odd levels, so it's a penny stock really, and the volumes are also extremely low on this one. The stock has been trading in a range of 20 to 45 in a 52-week range, if I say so. And, we've seen the stock almost hovering around 24 odd levels in today's trading session. But let's see if Osho also tracks this one or not. Osho, do you track Mihika Industries at all? It's a completely illiquid stock that the investor
Yes.
has and has been holding since 30 odd levels.
See, definitely, in general, we do not recommend to have any kind of penny stocks in any kind of portfolio. And overall, this counter has been not performing that well in the recent period. Firstly, as you mentioned, it is a very illiquid counter. Secondly, there has been a very strong consolidation around the zone of again 20 to 28 or 30 odd level. So it is a very strong consolidation for this counter. Overall, the technical view won't be very much suffice for such counters because of the liquidity concern. But overall, I would rather stay sidelines from such counters. But if already holding this company, then I would say looking at the technical chart, near about 20 to 21 is a kind of a support, while on the higher end, approximately 29 to 30 is the resistance. So this is the trading range for the counter. If there will be any kind of breakthrough, then we can see some kind of movement. But if the quantity is low, better to exit from this.
Okay, got that. So that's the view that's coming in. Next, let's take another question. This is from Jay Rami Reddy. He says, good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, Mr. Reddy. How are you? And he says, my question is about since 2021, I've been holding Sumit Securities at the rate of 799. I have about 150 shares. So has been holding for a few years now. Let's actually look at this one, Sumit Industries, to see how the stock has been really trading at currently. So he's actually made a lot of profit here. The stock is at 3480. Today also there is sharp volume on this one. 4.8% of a surge can be seen. So this is mostly a securities firm that the company he's been holding at. It has a market cap of 3.7 thousand odd crore rupees right there. What we are also given to understand is that the stock is hovering near its 52-week high levels. The 52-week high levels are 3636, 3636. Let's look at the kind of move that we've actually seen in this year so far itself. In the last 6 months alone, the stock has gone up 150%, and on a year to date basis also it's almost the same. But the stock has actually had a one-way up move and a vertical rally of sorts since the time April began, and the stock was, you'll be surprised to know that the stock was hovering around 1237 odd levels back in April. It's been a vertical sort of a rally on this one since that time. So first of all, Mr. Reddy, I'd like to congratulate you since you've got an entry into this stock right at the levels of 800 and below that in the year 2021, and you've had the patience to hold on, and you've actually seen the best of the rally unfold. Osho, what would you suggest now after making stellar multi-bagger sort of returns on this one? Does it make sense for him to book any partial profits or continue holding on? What would you suggest?
See, overall, as you mentioned that in this year, the counter have gained approximately 170, 180% kind of a move. And overall, there has been a very strong cycle of higher highs, higher lows that can be seen on the daily time frame this year. So already Mr. Reddy is having a position around 800. So that's a very recommendable profit that he is into right now. But looking at the overall momentum, although the counter is not very much liquid, but overall the momentum still persists in the counter. So I would rather say that one should stay invested with a trailing stop losses at the higher levels until we see a decisive negation of the higher highs, higher lows formation. I expect that there can be a continuation to the higher end. So for now, Mr. Reddy can keep a stop loss of 3000 and hold into this position. Overall, the technical aspects are looking very aggressive, very positive. So any breakout above 3600 can again boost another 400 points of rally in this counter. So currently keep a stop loss of 3000 and hold this counter for another 3900 kind of a target in the short term period.
Okay, got that. So congratulations yet again. Hold on, there is quite a strong chartically trend that you can actually spot on this one as well. But do adhere to the advice that's been shared by Osho on that front. We have a question that's coming in, and this is from Arup Das. He's a retired person. He's writing in from Durgapur in West Bengal, and he's talking about a stock that he has in his portfolio, Rama Steel. Now he has this stock at the rate of 12.5 rupees. About 2000 shares is what he has. The second one is Jyoti Structures. At the rate of 30 is what he's holding Jyoti Structures at. And this is 500 stocks is what he holds. Jyoti Structures again is trading at around 32, 32 and a half. So just slightly above his buying price, and so is Rama Steel Tubes as well. Let's understand if these two stocks are worth enough to be held on to at this point in time, and I hope there is not enough and more risk, because we are dealing with Arup Das, who's actually a retired person. So there we need to have the risk averseness in place as well when we talk about such stocks. So Osho, could you please guide him?
See, firstly, for Rava Steel, this counter has been giving very strong bonuses in the recent period, approximately two times in a very short-term perspective. It has provided bonus, so that's why the prices are approximately around 13 odd level. Overall, the counter looks decent on a longer duration. So obviously, one can hold on to this counter, but again on the lower end, 12 rupee will be a very strong support, and that should be acting as a cushion to any kind of upcoming blips in the recent period. So 12 should be a strict stop loss for this counter. While on the higher end, overall the trend looks positive, and I'm expecting a target of nearly 16.5 to 17 in a very short term period. So overall structure is positive. but one needs to keep holding this counter with a strict stop losses. The other one is Jyoti structure. The structure of Jyoti structure technical charts are quite impressive as compared to Rama Steel. Overall, the counter has been into a cycle of higher highs, higher lows. Not that liquid, but overall, the technical perspectives are looking very positive. The 100-day exponential moving average provides a very strong cushioning to this counter. So I expect that there can be a decent move. Again, the lows of 28.40 to 28 rupees 40 paisa should be kept as a strict stop loss for this counter. While on the higher end, the target comes around the zone of 40 to 45 in the short term period.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question as well. Let's take another question. This one is from Mr. Sivanandan. He's again a senior citizen and he's writing in from Chittoor in Andhra Pradesh. And he says, I'm a big fan of Osho. Please pass on my question to Osho, sir. Well, for sure, Mr. Sivanandan, we will definitely have Osho address your query right there. This is why we have this show, so that top market experts can get the opportunity to connect directly with the people out there who really follow them for all their advice and for their market expertise. So, Osho, the question coming in from Sivanandan for you is on Bharat Rasayan. He purchased this stock at the rate of 2000 rupees per share. No, the total shares purchased are 50, and he wants to know if he can sell these stocks to buy any other share. Well, of course, 2000 rupees is like, I don't even remember the last time I saw this one at 2000 rupees. 11,333 is where it is trading at. So, Mr. Sivanandan, first of all, congratulations to you for holding on to such a brilliant stock at a brilliant price. Let's actually pull up the longest chart that we can perhaps to see. I'm sure a lot of bonus splits would have also taken place in that point in time as well. 1200% kind of a return in the last 10 years is what we have. Osho, for someone who really invests for the long term, these are the stories that proves to us that if one really is in the market for the longest term, there is nothing that that can stop them from creating wealth for their own self, for their families as well. And the stock markets definitely give you that wealth generating return over the longest period of time. Bharat Rasayan, for you, what should you advise?
Firstly, thank you, Mr. Shivanandan, for acknowledging me. And I would like to congratulate you that you have taken a very strong step into accumulating this counter and on sitting on a very decisive profits as of now. Overall, the trend for this counter still is very positive, but in the last 3 to 4 trading years, the counter has been facing some kind of resistance around the zone of 12,000. So that is a yearly resistance for the counter. This year, the counter have seen a decent movement, approximately 26% higher from the last year, but overall the structure is still positive. The kind of a consolidation we are witnessing in the last 3 years, that can be seen as a very strong base setup or consolidation setup in this counter. So from here onwards, the rally could be continued on the higher end, and I expect that there is no harm staying invested in the company which has already given a very decent returns. So overall, I am expecting that on the higher end, 12,000 and 12,500 to 12,800 could be seen as the immediate resistance for the counter. And I would even recommend that it is now very near to the year end. If there will be any kind of breakthrough above 12,000 on the yearly basis, that means by the end of December, we can definitely expect a higher returns in the coming period. So stay invested with your investments in this counter. There is approximately 2 to 3 weeks that will be we have to watch for this counter, and anything above 12,000 on a closing basis for this year can be seen as a very strong movement in the coming periods. So stay invested and enjoy the profits.
Okay, got that. And in fact, it's actually when we talk about long term, it's also not that longer term. Bharat Rasayan would have been trading at around 2004 levels back in 2017. So it's actually just about under 7 years that you've actually seen multi-bagger returns on a stock that has fundamentals, technicals both working for itself over this period as well. So just about 7-8 years, and you see the kind of wealth that has been generated. Yet again, congratulations to you on this one. We have another caller coming in now from Nashik. We have somebody on the phone line, Sushant Bodke. Hi Sushant, how are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Always welcome. Tell me, Sushant, what is the stock that you are holding on to?
I have Tejas network at rupees 80 average. I would like to know the further guidance about the stocks and how the setup looks like. And the second one is I have Moschip Technologies at 170. It's into semiconductor design. So I would like to know the industry outlook from the expert.
Okay, got that. Two stocks right there. First is Tejas Networks. Again, when the entire telecom buzz was taking place, this was one stock that really outperformed pretty much. His buying level is around a average of an 80 odd levels, and look at the kind of stock returns that he has seen. The stock is trading at 1330 now. And Moschip Technologies, again, let's pull up the stock. He bought it at 170. Again, looking at the kind of opportunities that exist in the semiconductor space, he wants to know what is the outlook on this one as well. How would you guide on both these stocks where he's holding on to substantial profits and are more returns in the offing Osho for him?
See, firstly, for Tejas Network, again, the caller has been making a tremendous profit by accumulating this at 80 rupees, currently at 1330. And overall, the structure, technical structure, still is very positive for a longer duration. I'm expecting that the counter is having a very strong consolidation around the zone of 1400 to 1100. So, anytime we see a decisive breakthrough above 1400 on the monthly time frame, we can witness another 400 point of rally in a short-term perspective. So overall, the technical structure for short-term and even for longer duration is very positive in this counter. So I would say to stay invested in this counter, have patience. There can be a decent move towards 1800 in the short-term perspective, and then we need to again review for a longer duration. But for now, 1800 should be the target that one can expect in short to medium-term time frame. Now coming to the Moschip Technology Limited, this counter again has seen a very decent up movement, and there has been a even vertical rally from the zone of nearly 130 towards the zone of 320. So overall, the technical structure is very positive. There has been some kind of profit booking, but overall, the counter have seen a very strong support of the 50% Fibonacci retracement. So I expect that there can be a decent movement in the coming period. As of now, the stock is into a time-wise corrective phase. The time it breaches the zone of nearly 255 to 60, we can see a decisive up move in the coming period. So I would say that in this counter, better to stay invested in your position with a stop loss of 205, 210 kind of a zone. While on the higher end, the time it breaches the zone of 260, we can definitely see to 320 in the short term period.
Right, got that. Well, I hope, Sushant, you've got the advice on both the stocks, which is to your understanding. And congratulations yet again for holding on to these good enough profits right there on your stock portfolio. Let's go across to the next question now. This is from Surya. He says, good afternoon, Sakshi. Good afternoon to you, Surya. How are you? He says, if I want to know if I can buy Piramal Enterprises at the current price, and could you also suggest a stop loss and a target for medium term in case it is a buy? Piramal Enterprises for you, Osho. What are the charts suggesting?
See, overall, this counter has seen a very strong breakout around the zone of 1100. And the kind of a breakout that it has seen, the higher target comes around approximately 500 from here. So 1600 should be the target that can be seen in this counter in the coming period. So overall, this is a very medium to long term kind of a target that one can expect in this counter. But for short term, the counter has given a decent rally. If there will be any kind of correction towards the zone of 1200, try to accumulate this counter for with a stop loss of 1140, and in the short term we can expect a target of nearly 1400 in the near period. But overall, if you can stay invested in this counter from a medium to long term perspective, I would rather suggest that to you, that you can stay invested in this counter, accumulate in a staggered manner if there will be any kind of profit booking in the coming period. And the higher targets for this counter would be approximately around 1550 to 1600 odd levels.
Okay, got that. So that's Piramal Enterprises and the advice right there for Surya that we have on that front. Okay, we have the next question. This is coming in from Kamlesh Narkhere. And Kamlesh Narkhere says, hi Sakshi, I want to know on the auto space stocks, TVS Motors, Hyundai, Bajaj Auto, मुझे लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए लेना है तो करेक्शन का और वेट करें या फिर करंटली निवेश कर दें? ओके कमलेश जी, आपके सवाल का जवाब दिलवाते हैं ओशो से. ओशा ऑटो स्पेस के स्टॉक्स के बारे बारे में पूछ रहे हैं। टू व्हीलर्स, फोर व्हीलर्स दोनों के ऊपर नज़र है इनकी। टू व्हीलर्स से टीवीएस या बजाज ऑटो और फोर व्हीलर्स से Hyundai, जो कि एक रिसेंटली लिस्टेड स्टॉक है। यहाँ पर निवेश की स्ट्रैटेजी कहीं पर अभी बनती है करंट लेवल्स पर, या फिर वेट करना ही बेहतर है? हमने देखा है कि काफ़ी स्लो डाउन से गुजरता हुआ नजर आया है ये पूरा सेक्टर, लेकिन अब कुछ बाउंस वापस आ रहा है, कुछ मोमेंटम वापस आ रहा है। क्या सलाह देना चाहेंगे?
साक्षी सी, ओवरऑल मार्केट में टू व्हीलर्स एंड फोर व्हीलर्स में एक्सपेक्टेड रहेगा कि आने वाले 2-3 हफ्ते थोड़ा सा कूल ऑफ या कंसोलिडेशन कंटिन्यू रहे, बट उसके बाद एक्सपेक्टेड रहेगा न्यू ईयर से देयर कैन बी अ डिसेंट मूवमेंट इन ओवरऑल स्पेस। तो नेक्स्ट ईयर से बिल्कुल एक्यूमुलेट कर सकते हैं। अभी भी अगर हम हेवी वेट्स में देखें तो टाटा मोटर में काफी डिसेंट करेक्शन आ चुका है, नियर अबाउट 30% का करेक्शन हायर लेवल से देखने को मिला है, एंड यहाँ पे कंसोलिडेशन बेस बना रहे हैं। तो टाटा मोटर्स, महिंद्रा एंड महिंद्रा, ये दोनों काउंटर हैं फोर व्हीलर स्पेस से, जिसमें एक डिसेंट मूवमेंट एक्सपेक्टेड रहेगा आने वाले दिनों में। एंड टीवीएस में अगर हम देखें तो ओवरऑल टेक्निकल स्ट्रक्चर काफी अच्छा है, बट अभी कंसोलिडेशन जोन में, सो डिसाइसिव अप मूवमेंट शॉर्ट टर्म के पर्सपेक्टिव पे नहीं मिल सकता है, बट मीडियम से लॉन्ग टर्म का अगर व्यू है तो डेफिनेटली एक्यूमुलेट किया जा सकता है टीवीएस मोटर को भी। Hyundai में अगेन टेक्निकल व्यू देना थोड़ा सफाइज नहीं होगा, बिकॉज डेटा बहुत ही कम है। तो ओवरऑल फोर व्हीलर से टाटा मोटर्स एंड एमएनएम विल बी द प्रेफर्ड पिक, एंड टू व्हीलर से टीवीएस एंड बजाज, ये दोनों ही प्रेफर्ड पिक रहे।
ओके, गॉट दैट। चलिए, यहाँ पर भी आपको राय मिल चुकी है। ओशो, इसी के साथ हम आपको शुक्रिया कहेंगे आज के इस शो पर शामिल होने के लिए और तमाम हमारे सभी दर्शकों के क्वेश्चंस को एड्रेस करने के लिए। इसी तरीके से आप आते रहें और आप अपने सभी जो आपको फॉलो करते हैं व्यूअर्स, उनके साथ जुड़ते रहें, उनको सही गाइडेंस देते रहें मार्केट्स में। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जुड़ने के लिए ओशो। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग इन। एंड व्यूअर्स, नाउ वील टेक अप द रेस्ट ऑफ योर क्वेश्चंस विद another guest who's joining right in, Aditya Agarwal. He's the head of research and investment at investforedu.com. Aditya, warm welcome, and thank you so much for taking this time out, for being with us. One quick comment on the market setup. It's been long since we have met. A lot has transpired in the interim. We've seen the RBI policy coming in, a lot of geopolitical action that has impacted the markets as well. FIIs have returned to the D Street. To your sense of how are you really looking at? We are in the last part of 2024. Do you expect any Santa Claus rally unfolding?
Good afternoon, Sakshi. Always a pleasure to be back on your show. If we talk about the markets in particular, I think markets will remain in a very narrow band, and that is what we see usually towards the end of every year. FIs go on a holiday, they try to book a little bit of profits wherever they see profits, and markets are usually in a very tight band, and that is what we are witnessing in the past few trading sessions. And as we go ahead, inch closer towards New Year, I think markets will remain even in a tighter zone. So I don't see too much of an activity as far as market is concerned. As far as Santa rally is concerned, I think we already had a bit of a rally, Sakshi. There could be another pop from here on, which can take markets closer to about 25,000. I don't rule that out. 25,000 on the Nifty. And I'm a little constructive as far as index is concerned. I don't see too much of a correction as well as in the markets, both on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty front. But yes, having said that, I don't expect a sharp rally, maybe a gradual one, progressing towards 25,000 can be seen on the Nifty, and Bank Nifty too can inch closer to about 54,000, maybe closer to about New Year's.
ओके, गॉट दैट। चलिए, यहाँ पर भी आपको ओवरऑल मार्केट्स के ऊपर तो राय मिल गई है। तो आदित्य, बहुत सारे सवाल आपके लिए आ रहे हैं हमारे दर्शकों की तरफ से, तो एक एक करके उन सभी सवालों को लेंगे। सबसे पहले विनीता गुप्ता का सवाल लेते हैं। शी सेज, गुड आफ्टरनून साक्षी, गुड आफ्टरनून टू यू विनीता, हाउ आर यू? शी सेज, आई एम होल्डिंग ONGC at the rate of 282. I want to know if I should be booking loss now and invest in some other stock, maybe an Irida. What would you really suggest is the right strategy for me to hold at this point in time? ONGC has had a stupendous run up, and after that there has been a long consolidation that's playing out. So for somebody who's bought it at higher levels, definitely it's a testing phase. Your sense of what should one's strategy be on this one?
I think she should hold on to the stock because she's already seen the pain coming in the stock from higher levels. It's consolidated now, making slightly higher highs, higher lows. So it's a test for the stock right now as we speak. 250 to about 245 is a strong support area. If that is held, I think stock will see a bit of a short covering rally, and she can again see levels of at least 275 to about 285 on the upside. So hold tight as of now. I believe most of the consolidation and the correction is over for the stock. keep a tight stop closer to about 245, 240, revisit if these levels are tested. And on the upside, I think your levels of 280, 285 could be seen anytime soon.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next question, and this one is from Vijay Krishna, and he says, "Hi, can I buy Jyoti CNC automation for long term? Please suggest."
Okay, so this is one stock which has a bit of a liquidity issues. Actually, of late we are though seeing a decent liquidity coming into the stock. The structure is quite decent, and I like the structure for this stock. It's going through a bit of a consolidation at current levels. Yes, I don't mind getting into the stock closer to about 1300 odd levels and accumulate all the way down till 1250 on the downside. On the upside, stock can easily test levels of about 1600 to about 1800. Give it some time, keep a stop loss about 1150 on the downside. So this is one good bet. I think one can easily take on Jyoti CNC.
Okay, got that. We have a caller with us, and this is Hemlata from Chennai with us on the phone line. Hi, Hemlata. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go on with your question, please.
I just wanted to know if I can take fresh entry in PCI Express in the current.
Fresh entry in TCI Express. Okay, what is your horizon? Would you want to invest for the long term or maybe short term?
Yes, ma'am.
Short term? Okay.
I want to invest in long.
Okay. On TCI Express at 873, what are the charts telling you? Does it offer any entry level? What is the future really suggesting?
Nothing really, to be honest. Sakshi, stock has been constantly making lower lows, lower highs. It's in a downward spiral. I would still wait it out for some more time. Let the stock start making higher highs, higher lows, and at least inch higher above 1000 levels. Then I would be a buyer in the stock. I'm okay losing out 10, 15% or maybe 5%, but let the stock form a base and start making higher highs, higher lows. Then I would like to enter the stock, because you never know, stock can actually take come down and make a fresh 52-week low from current levels.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question. We have a question coming in from Vijay Krishna from Hyderabad. He says, I have a question for you, Aditya, since I follow you. It's your fan writing in right there, Aditya, and his question is on Gokul Das Exports. And he wants to know for the long term if he can buy this stock. Could you please suggest? It's an interesting question. Why? Because we are seeing again renewed move across the textile space, especially with the concerns in Bangladesh rising with the geopolitical tensions. So it's Bangladesh plus one probably working in favor for the textile makers in India. And Gokul Das Exports is one of the major exporters of textiles in India too. Today also there's a 5% up uptick that you can see, 1087. What are the trends suggesting you on the charts here?
Oh, very strong. And first of all, I would like to thank him for following me. And I'm glad that I've been able to help you out in some way or the other in making some money. As far as Gokul Das Exports is concerned, Sakshi, I think this is one stock which one should definitely look at, add in the portfolio, hold it out for at least 6 months to about 3 quarters. And you can see levels of 1250 to 1300 on the upside. That is the kind of up move that I'm seeing in the stock. Stock had entered into a long consolidation phase, and now we're witnessing a good up move, as you mentioned, in the stock on good volumes as well. So it's backed on extremely healthy volumes, a fresh breakout above 1000 levels. I would be definitely a buyer in the stock with a stop loss just around 900 odd levels, and look for a target of at least 1250 to 1300 on the upside.
Okay, got that. Next, we have a question from Mr. N. Murthy, and he says, Hi Sakshi, I'm holding Tata Motors at the rate of 850, 200 shares. Please suggest on this. My target is 1000 rupees. Is it possible in a short to medium term? Okay, we'll get you your question. Now, Tata Motors is something that had been doing very well in trade, and after that there has been a long consolidation and the stock is just stuck in a range. It did try to make many attempts to stay above that 800 mark, but every time it slips below. Your suggestion right now, what would you advise on Tata Motors, Aditya?
It's a good accumulation zone, Sakshi. I don't rule it out completely. Though there can be some more profit taking in Tata Motors all the way down to 660, 650 odd levels. That is some kind of a decent correction in Tata Motors. But then it's not a bad idea to start accumulating the stock. Buy in tranches, don't buy all in one go. Maybe you can add 50% at current levels, and if the stock corrects further, close to about 700, 750 odd levels, you can add the rest of the 50% odd stocks that you want to buy. But at current levels, yes, after a decent correction, consolidation, it's come to a good attractive level. Risk to reward is in favor of going long. And talking about targets, I don't only see 1,000 coming back in the stock, but going beyond that, much higher than 1,000 odd levels from current levels. So definitely add Tata Motors, buy at current levels, add on further declines, and wait it out for at least 6 months to about a year, and you will see a good up move in Tata Motors returning back.
Okay, got that. So I hope you will take the advice that Aditya has to share on Tata Motors, because there are a lot of investors who are inquiring about Tata Motors at the current levels. Hope this advice really helps you out right there. Okay, we have a question from Peter Raj, and he says, can I enter Aeroflex Industries at the current price? Aeroflex Industries is currently trading at 213 odd levels, and if we look at a little stretch chart, we will see that in the last 5 days it's been softer, about 4% odd or so, but in the last 1 month still it has gone up about 14-15 odd percent. Last 6 months have been good. There's a 51% surge on the stock. So particularly from last 6 months, June onwards, from 141 there has been a good enough rally, with especially the rally picking up pace from November 22nd onwards. There was a one-way vertical up move on this one as well. After this recent move of 50 odd percent in the last 6 months, do you still believe this stock has further potential now, Aditya?
Oh yes, actually, I think this is a good price to add on to the stock. Stock has cooled off, as you mentioned, in last few trading sessions. What is interesting to notice is the stock had broken out on good volumes. It went up on very good volumes. The correction that we are seeing in the stock is on very shallow volume. So that is a very big positive as far as the further up move in the stock is concerned, because that tells us that people are not exiting from the stock. There's no heavy selling in the stock. So this cool off is just a temporary blip in the stock for a next leg of up move in the stock. So definitely add on to current levels. All the way down till 210, I see good support levels. On the upside, you can see levels of 250 to about 265 in the near term.
Okay, got that. We have a caller coming in next now from Mumbai. Kalpesh Patel is with us on the phone line. Hi Kalpesh ji, good afternoon. कैसे हैं? क्या सवाल है आपका आज?
मैम एकदम बढ़िया हूँ. मैंने आज आइडिया सेल किया हुआ है ₹8.80 में, और मेरे को ये ₹5 के बिलो कब तक आ सकता है? और ये अदानी ग्रुप में अचानक क्या हो गया कि सब पूरा ग्रुप 3 से 4% माइनस चल रहा है? कुछ फिर से कोई नया न्यूज नहीं आने वाला है ना?
वोडाफोन आइडिया के बारे में पहले आपने पूछा, शॉर्ट सेल यहाँ पर आपने किया हुआ है। ₹5 का भाव आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि नीचे की तरफ आपको मिल जाए। ₹8 के आसपास अभी ये स्टॉक चल रहा है, और काफ़ी लंबे अरसे से यहाँ पर एक नेगेटिव मूव देखने को मिल रहा है जब से AGR की खबर आई थी। आपको याद होगा जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक डिसीजन लिया था कि AGR ड्यूज़ की माफ़ी नहीं दी जाएगी, वेव ऑफ नहीं किए जाएंगे टेलीकॉम कंपनियों के लिए, तब से लेकर एक वोडाफोन आइडिया में एक नेगेटिव मूव भी हमें देखने को मिला है। हालांकि कंपनी लगातार फंड रेज की तरफ बढ़ रही है, और काफ़ी खबरें उस लिहाज से भी देखने को मिल रही हैं। तो पहले तो आदित्य जी टेक्निकली बताइए कि शॉर्ट सेल किया हुआ है, क्या राय देंगे यहाँ पर?
सबसे पहले तो मुझे ये जान के खुशी हुई कि पहले कॉलर है जिन्होंने शॉर्ट सेल किया आइडिया को, नहीं तो हम यूजुअली सुनते हैं कि आइडिया बाई करके रखा हुआ है सबने। तो सो वीक स्टॉक है, आपने शॉर्ट सेल किया, अच्छी बात है। स्टॉप लॉस लगाया अपने कॉस्ट पर, और नीचे पहला पड़ाव यहाँ पे ₹7.75 का आता है, तो 775 इज द इमीडिएट सपोर्ट फॉर द स्टॉक. If the stock doesn't break 775, which happens to be a strong support area for the stock, if you look at the last few sessions, that has been a very good accumulation zone as far as idea is concerned. So ₹7.75 should be your first target. If that is not broken, cover up your short positions. If that is broken, then stock can slide all the way down to ₹6.50. That is the ultimate target that I'm looking at. ₹5 would be little far-fetched as of now, because stock is entered into a long consolidation phase. So yes, a good shot. Keep stop loss at your cost at which you had sold, and keep a first target of ₹7.75.
And you know, Kalpesh is in fact our regular viewer, and he calls almost every other day. You know, you'll be surprised to know he has most of short sell, positions. Not just on Vodafone, he will have it on CDSL also. So once he said, you know, I want CDSL to break down, this is the time when CDSL is actually hitting record highs after record highs. So, that's something that we have to deal with him. That's how he functions. Let's see how we can probably guide him in the best way. The other one, he wanted to know your view on the Adani Group stocks as to what is in the offing. Of course, these stocks largely recovered the losses that were incurred after the US indictment, the bribery case that happened. They slowly and gradually started to come up and recover in trade after clarifications were coming in from the company itself. Gautam Adani himself came out and talked about it, and as to how the group is really going to be taking the legal recourse to fight it out and to prove their the kind of worth that they have. And also they talked about that how every attack is actually making them stronger. So that's the confidence that they wanted to bring back of the shareholders, and the stock prices really rallied pretty sharply. And after that, there has been some kind of slippage rights there again. Do we say that probably Adani Group, the way they had rallied pretty sharply, right now is a time when consolidation is playing out? Till the time any fresh triggers come in on the positive time, this is where it's going to be like this for some more time?
I think so, Sakshi. And first of all, you need to have nerves of steel if you are buying any of the Adani Group stocks, because time and again there is a news flow which comes in, and mostly the news flow is a negative side, and stock takes a beating like anything, and then it recovers also. So you definitely need nerves of steel to buy into any of the Adani Group stocks. First thing. Second, yes, I believe the current kind of cool off that you're witnessing in most of the Adani Group stocks, it's more on the sides of correction side, minor correction and consolidation. I wouldn't read too much into it. The fact that stocks are down 2% to about 3%, and not all stocks are to be looked at. If I have to pick a couple of them from the Adani Group stocks, Adani Ports will definitely stand out for me. This is one stock which one should look at. Adani Enterprises, second stock in my radar, would also be looked at. Apart from that, the couple of cement stocks which Adani now holds, Ambuja and ACC, these are the two stocks which also somebody can look at if somebody is looking at to add Adani Group stocks in the portfolio. So these are the four stocks that I would like to bet on. Apart from that, there are not many stocks which I would like to bet my money on Adani Group stocks, clearly because of the fact there are so many news flows which come around, and I don't want to risk my money on so many Adani stocks.
Okay, got that. So that's the view that's coming in. Let's take the next question, and this is coming in on Axelia Solutions. This is from Satya. He says, could you please get me a view on this one? I want to invest in this stock for the long term. Either Axelia Solution or Kolte Patil. These are the two stocks which are on my radar. Where should I put in fresh money for long term? Two stocks right there. Axelia Solutions are trading at around 1561 odd levels, and the other one is Kolte Patil, which is again from the real estate pack. Your sense in either of them, which is the chart that you're preferring right now?
So I would like to stick my neck out and buy a real estate stocks actually, because this is one space which is still showing good traction. If we clearly take a look at the kind of news flow that came around from the DLF yesterday, it shows the demand in the real estate space, and I would like to stick to a real estate company. Maybe not a Kolte Patil. If I have to put my money on, I would put my money on either a Godish Properties or a DLF itself, or maybe look at Oberoi Realty. These are the top three bets within the real estate space. And if you take a look at the performance and the charts and the price structure, it shows how they have been performing clearly, outperforming their peers. So these are the three stocks if within the real estate space that I would like to bet on. As far as Kolte Patil is concerned, it's okay. I wouldn't mind getting into the stock, but yes, the kind of alpha that the three stocks that I mentioned will generate, Kolte Patil will maybe not be able to do that for you.
Okay, got that. We'll move on to the last question then with you, Aditya, and this is a question that I will ask you for the benefit of our larger viewers. Everybody is looking at how we can probably look at the best opportunities in this current setup in the market since bounces have started to return. So one is thinking that the worst of consolidation is probably behind. If there are any newer stocks that you've also identified, maybe for the year end, for Christmas, for the New Year's, then could you please suggest that for all our viewers?
Definitely, Sakshi. So I think one should clearly stick to the large cap ones because you could again see one other round of volatility kicking into the markets, and that can lead correction in the mid cap and the small cap stocks again. So I would like to stick to the large cap ones, and this is what I would suggest our viewers as well, to stick to large cap names. Talking of sector specific, I think IT is something which is clearly outperforming in the market, and one should stick to an IT company. Within the IT space, one can look at Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech. These are the top three bets. within the IT pack. Talking of the mid-cap IT names, I do like Coforge and Persistent Systems as well. So these are the next two in line which can be looked at. Apart from that, cement space is also looking very attractive to me. And I think in the coming times, you will see a return of the demand as far as cement is concerned, because the way real estate stocks are buzzing, the next leg of rally you will see in the cement stocks as well. So within the cement pack, maybe you can look at Ultratech cement. That definitely stands out for me. You can see at least a 15 to 20% upside in Ultratech cement. And I mentioned the couple of Adani group stocks, which are into cement, ACC and Ambuja, both can be looked at. I think so. They offer a good risk to reward at current levels and can be bought. Apart from that, there are few pockets which are buzzing in the chemicals, specialty chemical space. But again, that's a little bit of a risky bet. If you're okay taking that kind of a risk, look at a couple of names. Deepak Nitrite is something which is looking interesting to me, and Naveen Fluorine. These are the two bets that I would take on in the specialty chemical space.
Okay, got that. So there you go, viewers. We've got a full portfolio of diversified stocks for all of you from Aditya to be invested in for your Christmas New Year party. So you can definitely look at Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech, Coforge and Persistent from the IT pack. Then you could look at Ultratech, ACC and Ambuja from the cement space, and Deepak Nitrite and Naveen Fluorine from the cement, from the specialty chemical space as well. We'll thank you, Aditya, on that note, for being with us on the show and for sharing all these wonderful insights, answering all the questions of our viewers and suggesting to us your top stock bets right there. Many thanks for being with us. All right, viewers, what we'll do is we'll start to wrap up now this edition of Daily Calls. 55 points of a loss right there on the Nifty, 24,564. So it's been again a very, very small range in which the markets have been operating in today. The Nifty Bank is absolutely flat with a negative bias right there. Very small several pockets that are continuing to move up. So stocks like realty, IT, consumer durables, metals, and some gains coming returning to FMCG that's holding up. But very, very stock specific moves in today's trading session, just like yesterday as well. But about 2.5 hours remaining for the day to shut shop. We'll see how it pans out, especially the latter half of the day. And in case there is any kind of a bounce that is returning into the markets, or will it be another third day of a consolidation playing out on the D Street? Stay tuned to watch it and watch us speak to top market experts, guide you through the current market and the volatility.